This is the homework for lesson number 118, saving data to the flash memory of the Raspberry Pi Pico W. What I've done, it took me a while. I finally figured it out with a lot of messing around. But if you look up here, I put in the basics for the pin usage and the PWM for the servo. Then we have this UJSON and import servo library. And here's where I defined the servo library. Here's I defined the buttons I'm going to use, the red buttons on pin 15, green buttons on 14, and the servo pin will be 13. Then I define the button old and button new stuff for the red and the green. And I go ahead and define SP, which is the angle of the servo position. And then I go down here, and here's why I initially set up the servo, or I read the servo. Here's the F equals open the servo position and then read. SP equals UJSON load F, which is that one, which is reading what was in the servo position file. And then we close the whole thing. So I'm not quite sure why we do that, but we do. And down here we've got, I've set up the but state for the green value, and I put a little sleep here to limit any debounce on the buttons. Same thing, I set up the but state for the red pin, a red button. Okay, then we come down here where I set up, I check the red button if it's 0 and the red button old is 1, then I go ahead and get into the loop. I make sure it's less than 180. The set point is less than 180, and then if the set point equals set point plus 10 degrees, then I set the servo. Then I sleep another, I think it's a half a millisecond. Yeah, half a second. Just give it time to respond. Okay, we get down here. Here it is. Then if it gets to 180, if it's at 180, I want it to stay at 180 because I don't want to try and go past it. Then we have, I print this on the display or on the, what do they call that? The serial of the printer. Print in Python is just on the, I don't know what you call this, a shell. Anyhow, at this point, once we've done this, we stop and we set the position W. This time I'm writing to it. UJSON dump the writing SP value to F again. And then I close it. Then I put the old button equal to the new button. That way you're ready for the next time around. Same thing goes for the green button, except in this case, I'm looking at 0, anything greater than 0. Okay, then we do that. I do the same amount of weight for the servo. And I do a print up here on this thing. At this point here, at the end of all this, I go ahead and write it to the servo position file. And then I get this open servo position file. Then I write this to it, and then I close it. And then I do the housekeeping by making the but state old green, but state green old equal to but state green. Anyhow, that's the software. Now, as far as running it, in this case, I've got it disconnected. This is saved on the Pico as main.py if I turn it on. and it stayed wherever it was the last time I played with it. Now, if I go to the red button, it should go counterclockwise. Okay. And then if I go to the green button, it should go to the opposite direction. And it's doing that. So let me go put it around 90. Okay. I'm going to turn it off. Give it a second to shut down. Turn it back on. You notice it goes out and gets the old value from SP and puts it in to the software, and then I can go from there. And that's my homework. I appreciate you doing these videos, Paul, and looking forward to the next one. Thank you.